Hey world, it's Justin, and you are tuned to Anywhere the Needle Drops. And it is an off week, and that can mean only one thing. Well, actually, that could actually mean a couple of things, but what it means for you today is we have another AtND live session for you here. And this week we've got Rebel, Noire, and the Accomplices back in the house to treat us to some live music and to a great chat with Rebel. A good old time was had by all during this. You know Rebel. She's been on the show before. You've seen her and the band out and about. At least I hope you've seen the band and her out and about, because if not, they are fantastic. Don't worry though if you haven't, because you've got a couple of chances coming up to check them out very, very soon. In fact, this Sunday, May 18th, Rebel Noire and the Accomplices are joining forces with the Elkhart County Symphony to put on a really special show merging their music and what the symphony does. And they've been working on this, and I'm excited to see what they pull off with all of that. It's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, May 18th, just right around the corner here from when this drops, just a few days away. May 18th, Elkhart County Symphony. Get those tickets online. You'll see the links in the show notes, of course. And they've got some of the shows coming up. They're playing out with GBCO, or not with GBCO, at GBCO later on this month, one of my favorite locations, with special guests City Sun. They've got Float Fest coming up in June. They've got a special event at Stockroom East in July, and then they're going to be playing over here at Fernwood in August. So many options, so many great venues, and so many great varieties of methods to see Rebel Noire and the Accomplices. I suggest you see them all and get that variety. So I'm going to toss you to our session that we did in Theory 1 Studios. We've got a couple of songs for you, and we've got a chat with Rebel. Enjoy. Thank you for your time. Here's to life.
I be the water never thirsty. I be the secret, I be holy. Without a limit, I be worthy. Yeah, I'm beyond, I'm ever floating. And never be thirsty, never be thirsty, never be thirsty. And never be, ever be thirsty. I be the water and ooh. I am the steady rain. I am the calmest sea. Over the parched land, next to the mountain peaks. I am the oasis, I'll be the greenest thirsty. I'll be the secret, I'll be holy. Without a limit, I'll be worthy. Yeah, I'm beyond, I'm ever floating. I'll never be thirsty, ever be thirsty, ever be thirsty. I'll never be, ever be, ever be, ever be thirsty. I'll be the water and the woman and the worthy and all of it. Ooh. To make one, take it back to the basics. Mine, alma mater, got caught in my matrix. Damn, the sweater weather make it icy inside. Like I'm the rising tide and never ever subside. I'm a lifeguard to hold me when the current is too strong. Surf get choppy, but the storm it don't last long. So I'll be the secret till the heaven is sent. To a new earth begin. For a world without end, I'll be the water.
Jack, it's a challenge within. Remember I was floating in the shallow sin. Was in too deep but couldn't actually swim. Take them clothes off and unravel the skin. Like some addict shit, we at it again. Caught up in your flow like the spot, you gotta vacuum again. Too much can never be enough. We teaming up, we didn't have to force it, now we syncing up. On my Shiva stuff, find a new stream of conscious in the heat of love. And I'ma hold you close like the meanest grudge. Life can be draining, I'd rather be a flood. Yo, staring at your waterfall, like a blessing pouring down, and I caught it all. I'ma tap it like a volleyball, like a tsunami, breaking down all your tallest walls.
I'll be the water, never thirsty. I'll be the secret, I'll be holy. Without a limit, I'll be worthy. Yeah, I'm beyond, I'm ever floating. I'll be the water and ooh. I'll be the water, never thirsty. I'll be the secret, I'll be holy. Yeah, I'm beyond, I'm ever rising. Yeah, I'm an ocean, I am floating. I'll be a water and a woman and a worthy and all of it. Ooh. I'll be the water, never thirsty. I'll be the secret, I'll be holy. Without a limit, 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 I'll be worthy. Never be thirsty, never be thirsty, never be thirsty. Never be, ever be, ever be, ever be, ever be, ever be thirsty. The water and the woman and the worthy and all of it. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Rebel Noire, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to Anywhere the Needle Drops. How's it going?
I feel tremendous. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me back.
Oh, it's always great to see you. I mean, we see each other a lot out about in town, at movie events, at music events, at art events. We just keep running into each other, which is fantastic. So I do love that. I was looking, though, at the old episode the last time you were here. That was all the way back in September 2023.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
It feels like yesterday.
It does. It does. Yeah. So, given that's been so long, what's been going on? What's new with you guys?
Since September 2023? Okay.
We've both been living a little bit of life since then. So, yeah.
I won't go through all the things. I mean, I would say just expansion. I feel
Yeah.
like the last couple of years can be summarized in terms of expansion.
Yeah.
Like we've been playing more places. We got out to Grand Rapids. We got to Michigan City. We're doing more shows, more by invitation. And so I can remember when I would be the one pushing or we would be the one pushing to get shows. And, you know, now those are really coming in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel like we've got a really nice foundation in the region and are spreading out a little bit more. Expansion in terms of projects.
Okay.
So I think since 23, we released Unarmed because you reviewed that. And we also released our third project, L'Evolve. And so our sound has also shifted too over time since we last spoke. So a lot of good things going on.
So many good things. Yeah. I mean, there's, as I believe when you and I last talked, that was, you were leading up to your first show ever in Michigan.
And
Yeah,
you played out at the
yes.
Blooming Bus event, right?
I know, with llamas. Our first show in Michigan, and like on a farm, like in the woods. Yeah,
that was such a cool event. And now you're here, and they're looking for you. They're seeking you out. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice
and well worth it. Yeah. So all right. So okay. So you mentioned you've had some releases since then. Are you guys working on anything new right now?
Yeah, we like to go in cycles and try to write new music every time we're kind of in hibernation mode from shows. So there's no name for it yet. We're trying to do, I think, more songs. Like usually our EPs are 3, 4, 5 songs, and I'm trying to push myself to write, and we're trying to push ourselves to write for a bigger project. So no name, but it'll also be a little bit of a twist, I think, in some of our sound too.
Okay, all right. So you mentioned having these cycles. So is this something that you schedule in intentionally, or is it something you guys feel out? So I mean, how do you know when it's time for getting out there and doing the shows versus the time where you guys pull in and hang out and write?
So my my silly answer is I'm Trinidadian, and so when it get cold, I don't want to be schlepping the outfits and doing the things in the winter.
Sure,
so that's one reason. But
I mean, I do recall I've seen you out on the town at least a few times in the winter, though.
Well, this is true.
Yeah.
But when you have to get there because somebody booked you, is different than like I feel like going out in the winter.
Sure.
But we sort of fell into a really nice rhythm of about March side to September, October, sometimes November, like trying to have gigs in that block. And then really like September, October, November, December, January, trying to be a focus time for writing. I like to have new stuff whenever we pop out, in a new year. Like, I think we all have the sense of we love everything that we do, but it's nice to add more things that reflect how we've grown and that reflect where we're at musically and as artists. So having that dedicated time to try and write feels important to us.
Yeah. So what would you say? I mean, what has noticeably changed in your sound or in the work since the last release?
I mean, some obvious things like the band members. So, we've been the kind of band that's like changed over time. Like Rebel Noire is probably the stablest figure. And then I have 2 of my longest running bandmates, like Jason and Devin, first Devin. We're probably the longest running folks, but we've had other people kind of come in. And so as every artist comes in, they bring their own sound and they bring their own flavor. So I don't like to squelch that. I mean, nobody wants to be like, okay, we'll play the way the last drummer played, right?
Sure, yeah.
So just people being free to create is one thing, and the changes in folks. And I mean, like, I feel I've changed. The songs, the lyrics that I write are from me. Like, I'm not singing anything that's made up. I'm not singing anything that's like just to catch anybody's ear. I write from, as we say, from the place of Black womanness and from my experiences. So I'm evolving over time. And so the music also shifts because of that. And we're sharing more. When Rebel Noire and the Accomplices first started, like, I would come in with all the songs, and because I don't read music, and I'd just sing everything and be like, okay, here's Truth Teller. It's a song it's a meditation on lynching, right? Like, this is what I'm hearing.
Find me there musically.
Yeah, can you go here? And there's some of that still. But now I'll write to Devin's composition. We just won an award for a song that he brought to us and was like, can we play that?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap, well, I got to write some words that have integrity to this thing that somebody else has brought. So our writing, who is in it, who I am, and who's contributing, and the flavor that we're all bringing continues to evolve us.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that about who we are.
Definitely, yeah. So this unnamed project that's coming down the line, do we have any kind of release date, any kind of ballpark on that, or do we not want to make promises yet?
No
Or?
release date yet. But I kind of have a little bit. The theme isn't quite settled, but there's like one song that I'm loosely calling like "Lullaby for the End of the World," and I wrote that kind of in response to what I was seeing, of course, and it's still ongoing with Palestine. So it's a very mellow song. It's very open and empty. And then we have Type of Time, which we'll do, which is a little bit more of that, not even braggadocious, but just this feeling like 2025 is gonna be like my year. It's gonna be the year that I eat. It's gonna be the year that we eat. So I've seen fruit. We've been having fruit. But 2025 is the year that I'll get to eat. And so, it's like 25 will be my greatest, 45 will be my latest, standing next to Samuel, Octavia, and Issa, right?
Yeah.
Like 45 is my birthday this year.
Nice.
I want to be hanging out with all the other after 40 celebrities, who kind of made their mark later on in life. So
Yeah.
it's a full range, but I think it'll all hold together.
I love that concept because also as someone, getting up there in age and, there's always this sense of, oh, is it too late? But then you just mentioned a bunch of heroes who really have done so much in their later years. And it's never too late.
Not only is it never too late, but sometimes it's better when it's late.
Yeah.
Like, if I was trying to do everything that I'm doing now in my 20s, I don't think I could sustain it.
Yeah.
I didn't have the self-esteem for it. I didn't have the sense of self for it. And I think I would have probably, fallen off the track a lot longer. So I really do credit, my maturity and the growth that I've had over time, through some hard stuff, but also through some good stuff, that makes this the absolute right time. I hope my knees hold up. But
the first thing to
it is
go,
the
right?
right time, so yeah.
Great. So when you're, writing your lyrics, do you have a specific, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do some work right now? Or do you, because so much of what you write, it's based on your experience. It's based on what's going on in the world around us. Is it something happens and you're hit and you have to write right then? Or do you take moments to sit and then ponder and then the lyrics come out?
It's I wish there's a low-key part of me that wishes that I was the type of songwriter that had the discipline to go sit somewhere and write things.
Sure, yeah.
I really do, because I get nervous sometimes. I'm like, oh, Lord, how long can I do this? Because the songs that just kind of come. I have songs show up in my dreams.
Yeah.
I have songs show up in the shower. I'll be sitting at the table and something catches my ear. Or I'll hear a song and then take it in a different direction. So it's a very organic process.
Yep.
For how songs come. And I wish I could even say I have to be in the zone. I'll be just driving and be like, "Ooh, where's my voice note, child? I gotta grab my phone." So it's a very organic process. Yeah.
You just got to be ready for it when it hits, right? As artists, I think we can try our best to have a routine or some sort of a process or procedure, but it only goes so far, right? So you got to do a little of both. So, yeah. So, all right. So you're in this this mode right now of writing, of kind of still doing the internal thing, but it's getting warmer outside. We're moving toward the summertime, so there's got to be some stuff coming up. So when do you guys get back out there into the world and start playing some shows?
This 2025 is a crazy year. This is a new thing.
Yeah.
I'm just super excited for this. We're playing with the symphony, the Elkhart County Symphony, on May 18th. I don't know if this will come out before then, but May 18th, 2025. That is a dream.
Yeah.
We are all so geeked. 80 some odd of our new band members for a night. That's wild. So that'll be our next show. We're kind of laying a little bit low to get ready for that.
Yeah.
And just, thank you so much to Suhan and that whole team, to the board for inviting us. That's huge. We'll play at Botanic Garden for the first time. In August, we're playing Fernwood,
Nice.
August 9th. So, we've had a couple shows already in February, but it's really starting to ramp up. Be the Light will be on July 26th. Action Adam, who you had, is the brainchild behind that.
Yep.
Devin Vargo, my guitarist, we're working on it, but it's like a live visual mixtape with all of these amazing artists like dipping into and out of each other's bands.
Yeah,
and
it sounds pretty incredible what's playing for that
my
night.
goodness. Like, it's a little bit like, how is this all gonna work?
Yeah. I don't know. Action
How
Adam's
is this
something
all
else.
gonna work?
Yeah.
But you know, he's a strong container for it, and the vision for it. So you know, I'm excited for not just that we'll be playing, but the variety of things we'll be playing. We're playing Float Fest for the
Yeah.
first time.
Tell me about that. That's an exciting event.
Oh
That's
my
such a unique thing.
goodness! People floating down a river to see us, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about all the places we're getting to go. We're doing a Battle of the Bands in Michigan City, so
Nice.
you know it's a full season that's shaping up, and a diverse season, which I like. It keeps it fresh.
Yeah. Well, and like you mentioned in Float Fest, that's such a unique event. Like you said, people floating on the river and watching the bands play. Is that your first time playing this one?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Bless all the people who go to get in a boat.
Yeah. Just to see
Zip
you.
down a river, Lord. I'm like, ooh, child, I might fall over. It'll be a real not float fest because I can't really swim. So
Yeah. Well, and I'm noticing a theme. I mean, we talked about the last time you were here. You were just getting ready for that Blooming Bus Farm show, and you mentioned Float Fest. You mentioned Fernwood. You've got all these shows where there's nature. I think I've seen you play outside more than I've actually ever seen you play inside, which is kind of interesting.
that might be true.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is there
I'm
something
gonna
there
figure
for you?
something out.
Yeah. Is there like a nature thing that's
yard too?
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh man.
does that feed you when you're out there under the sky and performing for the audience? Does that add
Yeah.
anything special for you?
You know, I hadn't put that connection together.
Yeah.
I think honestly, anytime I get to be on a stage, I might cry.
That's all right. It's a safe space here.
It almost doesn't matter. Like, I get to do this thing that I didn't think I'd ever get to do. I wanted to sing when I was younger.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't sew into it. Like, I counted myself out super early. And again, it's working out because I think I'm ready now.
Yeah.
But literally, anytime I get to be on a stage, like, I'm just like, God, like, wow, like, I get to do it. And that people, I'm honored. You know, some people might take it for granted that people are coming to see him, or we're like, I'm honored that people find so much depth and value in what we do, and in the words that I sing. So there is something I think about being nature among nature. Like, humans are really funny. Like, we are nature.
Exactly. Yeah. Turns
So
out
I'm
we're part
always
of
in
that.
nature.
Yeah.
But you know, this sort of open air space and like looking up at the sky and singing, like there's something that's very spiritual or rich about it.
Yeah.
But anytime, I'm just like, wow, like I get to do this
Yeah.
the way that I want to do it with the people I want to do it with. Child, I don't take that for granted.
Sure. It's amazing what you just said there. I get to do this. I have a friend who, this is something he often reminds me of, both in his hard times and in my hard times. We get to do this. And it's important to take those moments and to look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I get to do this, right? Yeah. 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 So, all right. So you mentioned Elkhart Symphony because you're from Elkhart. So what's happening out in Elkhart these days?
I'm from Elkhart. Don't you dare.
You're in Elkhart.
Elkhart is home.
Elkhart is home.
It
Okay.
has become home over time. I'm from Trinidad.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Grew up in New York City.
Yep.
And I get to be in Elkhart, Indiana.
I
So,
remember.
yes.
I remember you telling me a story of you were back in New York and you were trying to get home, looking for a flight, and you were saying, "I just want to go home." So
I
you
just
called
wanna go
Elkhart home.
And I was like, oh, okay, we're there for real.
Yep. Yeah. So what's happening out there these days?
Yeah, I gotta say, I haven't seen so much of the local music scene in Elkhart. Daj, DAJ, Pyramid Show, like that is like not operating anymore, and that was a real hub for kind of bringing back and lifting up local artists there, it really feels like the gravitational pull is South Bend right now.
Sure, yeah. There's so much great stuff
There's
happening.
so much stuff going on there, like multiple music venues that really kind of, at least from the independent artist standpoint, like the Learner is still doing what the Learner does. The Civic Plaza, there's shows there on a regular basis. Premier Arts kind of curates that. But in terms of like local, independent, underground, upcoming, it really feels like the gravitational pull is South Bend, and then Goshen too.
Yeah.
So I definitely find myself like driving from Elkhart to Goshen, or oh Lord, I'm almost 50% now, like Elkhart, South Bend.
Yeah.
And I would love for more of that kind of organic, earthy art community. I'm not saying it's not there. At least from the music scene, it feels like it's not as Tri-City as it was like when we talked.
Sure. Yeah. Talk about that a little bit, though, the importance of having those spaces that support music. I mean, you know, what is it that draws you to South Bend and Goshen and those locations?
You know, I feel like there's enough openness and welcome. Not just openness, but welcome. Like welcome for people to try new things, whether it's visual art, whether it's music, you know, the open mics, those kinds of things. Like a welcome space for you to come and try, for you to come and demonstrate. Like people who have been doing this a long time, they don't shy away from spaces like that too. Yeah. So there's newer folks, there's seasoned folks, and they're all kind of congregating together, and there's a lot of support. Like I experience it as support.
Yeah.
And the reason why I feel like so passionate about that is like everybody needs their first. Like everybody needs their first art show, their first performance somewhere. And if there's not a place that is willing to let you have your first, with its mistakes and, you know, nervousness and all of that, like, then where are you going to be able to go next? And so Jason, my bassist, and he's the longest running band member, like we used to do a thing called Downtown Soul.
Yeah.
And that was what it was for, like pairing new people with seasoned people for music, and then newer artists with seasoned people for visual art. And so I feel like those spaces have a lot of room to try, and spaces that are dedicated for that, where you don't have to like build it from the ground up or push through somebody else's door.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so important too that those that are out there, having already been established, then helping foster the new artists and the people that maybe don't know yet. You know, you see that when, you know, some of these open mics that are there for strictly original music and giving people a chance to have that kind of experience and feedback. You know, so do you have, if there is, I mean, I know we could talk all day about all the great venues, all of the great artists. Is there like a hidden gem? Is there anything out there right now that's not getting enough love that you think you'd love to shed some light on? Or?
Gem? Oh, I don't think I know of a hidden gem.
See,
I mean, this.
Yeah, here we go, right here, right?
This is definitely
what
a hidden
doing,
gem. Not really. I mean, I feel like in the past few years, like the Rocky Button, Stockroom East, Lang Lab, Goshen Brewing, some of those places have sort of got, like, they're super established. If somebody knows of a hidden gem, let me know, because I like playing odd places.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back to the symphony for a second. That has to be an entirely different type of preparation. So what goes into that? Or have you even begun? Like, especially mentioning earlier, you know, you're not trained in music, and now you've got, you know, a symphony to deal with. How's that going to work?
You know, it's kind of bizarre. It's unlike what I thought. Like, this is how my brain works. I think in terms of documentaries. So I thought I would have months of footage of us, like, learning or sweating over, like, symphony things and violinists for months and weeks. That is literally not how it goes.
Yeah.
For us, like, we had to choose the songs we want to play with the symphony. So there'll be some songs we play on our own so that we can sort of swing the way that we want to swing.
Sure.
Because when you give the symphony the direction, they can't 80 people just can't start going on a riff because Nikisha
Yeah.
wants to go on a riff, right? We can't run that back like
Yeah.
20 or 30 times. So we've picked the songs. We've given them a shout out to Devin Vargo and Jason for coordinating all this because I could not.
Yeah.
The chord structure, we all thought about things that we would like them to do. So there will be some creative things that hopefully symphonies don't usually do
Yeah.
on different songs. And literally, we do not rehearse all together until I think the Thursday before the show.
Oh wow, pressure's on.
That is, I'm like, okay, that's a lot of trust right here.
Yeah.
So, I feel the gratitude of it and also the magnitude of it, right? Like everybody got to come in the room ready to go.
Yeah.
And so they'll convert things to sheet music, right? Like hopefully people will have already played and practiced on their own.
Sure.
And I think we have a total of 3 rehearsals before we jump on the learner stage and get the things done.
Oh, that's exciting. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looking forward to that. So, all right. Well, okay. So you mentioned it's 2025. It's your 45 year. When you get to the end of this year, what do you want to look back on and think and be proud of?
The first thing that comes to mind is she lived.
Yeah.
This will be a little bit morbid. Sometimes I try to think about what should be on my tombstone, and it's like she lived.
Yeah.
Like I want to have treated every moment like a juicy peach or something, like as much as I can.
Yeah.
I just the privilege of being able to we get to be here.
Yeah.
And not only do I get to be here, but like I get to be here. I get to do the things that I love almost in every area of my life. I get to be around people that I want to be around. Like I just can't take that for granted. Y'all know the world that we're in right now, where folks are literally trying to set up a kingdom where people like me are slaves. Like they're not shy about it.
Yeah.
And so if I can go through this whole year with a combination of joy, with a combination of doing what I love the best way that I can, with a combination also of being attentive to what's going on. You know me as an artist. I'm never the kind of person that's going to be so distracted that I'm not paying attention to what's going on. And give voice to that in the way that is authentic for me as an artist, but also as a human being. That's the balance. It's always a yes and. It's always a yes and. Yes, things are good and. Or yes, things are crazy and there's so much good. So like she lived kind of like runs around in the back of my mind sometimes, and I want 25 to be the year that I do that and just cherish all these new and awesome experiences and, lay the groundwork for 26.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, I think that's a great place to leave it right there. That's a beautiful message.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Rebel, thank you for hanging out.
Thank you, honestly. Thank you. I love being able to talk about what we do. There's so many layers to it that we don't always get enough time and spaces to like talk about it. So Thank you for creating this space.
We're here to help you tell those stories. So awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Theory One.
You have been listening to Anywhere the Needle Drops from Red Chuck Productions. Keep up on new episodes of this show, our live events and various creations and other happenings over at redchuckproductions.com or by following us on social media at Red Chuck Productions. Special thanks to Hero Jr. for our theme music. You can check them out over at herojuniormusic.com. That is Hero, Hero, Junior, JR, music.com. A big shout out to Paul Clemson and Theory One Productions for handling sound duties and so much more. Check out their magic over at theory1productions.com. And a big thank you to Earthworks Audio for outfitting the Red Chuck Studio. See their microphones and their other products over at earthworksaudio.com.
Be sure to support all of our guests by visiting their websites, social media, clicking that subscribe button, seeing them live, and checking out their merch stores. Give musicians and artists your money. We'll be back with the next episode. Until then, thank you for your time. Here's to life.